Inai. Inai. Aine kinechur kepper Joseph. Khensu Keku. I am Esekim. I am Etepu. I am Ekau. What up, what up, what up, what up? Everybody's. Hit y'all niggas with 2 lives in one day. Oh shit. Must pop some shit to say. Right? For those who need the translation, in the beginning I said greetings, greetings. Greetings, I am the great God who created myself. Khensu Keku, or the courser of primordial darkness. That's technically what Khensu Keku means. He who runs his course, or the courser. And Keku is the primordial darkness. Primordial darkness. What we talking about? Trying to figure out what we're talking about today. What up, Josiah? What's up, Javi? What's up, CJ? Shout out to you guys. Hope y'all having a great Saturn's day. Well, what's left of it. I'm out here doing a little star work. Fucking with my niggas up here. It's my boy Jupiter right there. Currently Astrostoph, or Astarte as well, with this energy, since it's the nighttime energy, known as the clip-off. To those who practice, who do that work, got that clip-offic energy. That's Jupiter. Shining bright. You know what I'm saying? Shining bright, young Jupy Jupe. Young Jupy the Jupes. You know? I don't know what I'm going to talk about on this one. Because on my last one, I talked about mindsets. And about having the right mindset to practice certain magic. And about how, you know, the Albion, or the European, or the Westerner, though even, you don't even have to be Albion. You could be black and have a Western mind. Your mind can be in the mind or function the same way as a European. You see, so therefore you would still be guilty in that scenario, because your mindset is that. But and we were talking about, like, for example, how ever since the European the European is actually, once they get a hold of certain things, they have a tendency to fuck it up because they were never culturally connected to it. So, like, for example, the term grand rising. A lot of people say grand rising and things of that nature, but they say it in the morning, you know what I'm saying, to replace good morning. Little did you know that we actually never used that term in reference to morning. Grand rising was normally in reference to the rising of Venus and the rising of Sirius. But the thing is, whatever energy you were working with covered the rising of whatever you're working with. So, like I had just mentioned, this is Jupiter, right? This is Jupiter. Hold on, flip camera. Got Jupiter right there. So if you're working with Jupiter energy, then that would be a grand rising, would it not be? As Jupiter currently in the southeast, in the Ophiuchus constellation, which is the 13th zodiac sign that the sun now goes around, and all planets now follow that as well. So if you're using a 12 sign zodiac, you're behind time as well. CJ, I actually practice a lot of different practices. I practice Santeria, Palero, Palo Mayambe, Kimbanda. I also practice ancient Egyptian magic. That's like pretty much most of my stuff. I practice Kabbalah, clip off magic. I also practice sorcery, and I also work with the Necronomicon, like I said, the Palo Mayambe, ancestral magic. Also practice Babylonian magic, Sumerian magic, Celtic, use some Greek deities. So I practice pretty much everything. I practice what's known as, in ancient Kemet, it was known as Ekau, which is what most people call chaos magic. Chaos magic is basically being able to use any type of energy you choose to use by its actual energy. So like I was just saying, if you're working with Jupiter, then if you're working with the Jupiter energy, then technically when Jupiter rose in the east at night, that would be its grand rising, which has nothing to do with the morning. So again, because the Albion or the European was not actually around, and look this up, they have only existed for about 8,000 years. Since they did not exist at the time when we were practicing these practices, everything they get is just remnants of what we used to do. You see, and where it gets messed up is because everything is just remnants or fragments of what we used to actually practice, and they were never connected to it. It gets manipulated and skewed because their perception was never attached to it. You see, it's like, for example, I was born in 1988. Okay, so when I was growing up, we used to play outside. Like, I didn't have a cell phone until I was 13 or 14, maybe. And then, even then, it wasn't like something that we used. Like, cell phones back then, like, literally was a fucking phone. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't go on Instagram. You couldn't really even go on the internet, because when you went on the internet, you was using up your data. And like, it would take, and even when you went on the internet, there was no actual, everything was in text. There was no HTML. So it's not like you could see a GIF, not like you could see a picture, like you could see anything. Like when niggas sent you a picture, you know how like sometimes you get a picture and it says the word MMS, multimedia, S. I forgot what the S stands for. But that itself, we used to that's how pictures used to come. Like nigga, the motherfucker send you a picture, it just showed up as an MMS, and you had to choose to download it. You know what I'm saying? You had to choose to download the actual picture. So just off of those time frames being different, and then nowadays, every little child can pretty much play with your cell phone. I know kids that are 5, 6 years old that got phones. You see what I'm saying? So just off of the simple fact of knowing the difference, that they don't play outside. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what it was like to not have the internet. You know what I'm saying? They don't know all these different things, and the way they will live their life from that point on of not knowing those things in comparison to someone like myself will show the generational difference, right? In the way we apply things in our life. And that's what I'm saying in a nutshell when it comes to the European and them not being here at that time. Because it's like, how can you know how to do something or work something or be a part of something if you technically didn't even exist as a people at that time? Because you would have no actual practical manner to the stuff you're trying to use. And that's what's most important to me, practicality. If you cannot practice it, then it is not important. Like, as far as how I look at it, if you want to talk to me about some spiritual shit and it's something you cannot practice, then you are wasting your time talking to me about it. So I don't want to hear shit about the Palladians and the Galactic Federation of Light and what you channeled from them and what they said to you. And I don't want to hear none of that nonsense unless it was something they said you can practice. Unless they was like, yo, if you do this and do that, then you can pull down the energy from the Pleiades, and then you can actually use that energy to communicate with us, and then we can go ahead and help, heal whatever you got going on, and blah, 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 blah. Unless they told you something like that, then you were being fed upon. You were being fed upon. And people don't even understand how that works. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're talking to someone who works, and I tell people this all the time. I work with demons, okay? I work with demonic energy, okay? You cannot debate me about something that I work with when I have no intention of manipulating you. And what I mean by is this. I tell people all the time, when you talk to things that claims to be your guide, your spirit guides, or your higher self, or ancestors, or archangels, or anything of that nature that you can't readily identify, that you know for a fact, like, is your ancestor, like, know for a fact that's your ancestor, then more than likely you're dealing with a demon. 95% of the time you're dealing with demons. If you have a concept of spirit guides, then you're more than likely dealing with demons. Because how this works is this. How demons work are like this. Demons pretty much know the word. First of all, the word demon means genius. That's literally what it means. A demon is a supernatural genius, which is, if from an occult level, how we look at it, is a demon is somebody who, or a spirit, technically, not a body, a spirit that learned how to incarnate. Learn how to skip incarnation through disincarnation. So what I mean by that is this. They basically never come into a body, but they know the gateway to speak to people with bodies. And then the people with bodies, out of showing them attention, feed them through the attention they give them. They're fed through attention, just like everything else. So if you give them attention, guess what's going to happen? When you give them attention, you feed that spirit. Especially in the dream realm. In the waking life, it's you know what I'm saying, it's powerful, but it's not it gives you more power in the waking life when you're paying attention to them in the waking life, simply because at that point you're consciously giving them attention. So it's like when I show attention to certain demons, I offer them libations. You know what I'm saying? Like this right here is something you drink. This is an elixir that was given to me by Bobby Hemmett, who him and his team channeled down to sister spirits, which are demonic spirits, versions of Isis and Neptet. And you offer them that by, you take a sip, but you don't drink the sip. You take the sip and you spit it in 4 directions. Then you can take your sip. Then you can drink it however you want. You offer that. That's by spitting the libation, which I need to do actually. When you spit rum or spit any type of alcohol, this is actually Canadian whiskey and London dry gin mixed into one, which is the elixir of Shayola and Tiesha. I might do a live on that, and might do because I'm actually going to be finishing the ritual tonight, so I might actually post the ritual on my YouTube and go from there. But when you do these works, basically what you're doing is you're offering the attention, which is intention, but the attention to that spirit at that time. Okay? Now, in a dream realm, why you're not giving the same amount of power as you're giving in a physical realm is because in the dream realm, they technically approached you while you were unconscious. And since you were unconscious, that means that the only thing that allowed them to come in was your subconscious mind. which understands that nothing here is real anyway. Your subconscious does, not the conscious mind. So basically, you may have the subconscious might have recognized a symbol, like let's say the motherfucker came as Jesus. It's like, oh, I know Jesus, and then it allowed Jesus to come talk to you, right? But little do you know, it's just a demon that has shapeshifted into the form of Jesus. And because you're giving it attention, you are now feeding it. And that's how that works. Well, CJ, if you want to learn any of that stuff, I do talk. I know I have books on all of that stuff that I provide in my classes. If you want to learn like the practical manner of it, then I would suggest that as well. The religion of Ifa and things of that nature is like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, no disrespect to anybody that does it, but it's something I would never go through. I still practice the same practices they do, but I would never go through the concept of the religion, because you have to be initiated by somebody outside, by a person who's practicing that. The way we practice in any ancient Egyptian system or anything of that nature, any left-hand path, there is no such thing as somebody initiating you.
Saturn time.
Saturn time. Great. Perfect time. There's no such thing as somebody initiating you. You initiate thyself by even having the initiative to learn this shit. By having the initiative to learn it, you have then initiated thyself. So we don't really practice anything that where someone is on the outside is required to initiate what you're doing on the inside. You know, so that's why people that take my class, they have a little bit of an advantage over people that are in these systems, rather it's the Ifa system, rather it's the Santeria system, rather it's the Palo Mayombe system, rather it's the Kimbandan system, Kimdoki I also have. Kimdoki, you know, I mean, I can keep going. Kandale, Kandumble, you know, all these different systems, fucking even like what they got now, the Freemasonry, you know, these systems. I know I have books on all the magic they practice, and I know the practical manners of it. So instead of wasting a whole year learning about something that you technically can't even practice for that first year, you know what I mean? Is a waste of time, because I'm guaranteeing you, as a person who practices and teaches these things, I can guarantee you will not be able to successfully like have any power by going through those systems at all. And the only reason I'm saying that is because the stuff the person learns is crazy, because right as I said that, like my whole fucking garage shook and there's no wind blowing. Anyway, I mean, it's not crazy to me, but it's kind of crazy that happened on live. The reason I'm saying that is mainly because, let's say I teach you something this week, right? But you can't practice what I teach you until September. But I just taught you this week. Technically, everything that you would have had, that all the energy and all the ideas and epiphanies that you would have had and realizations like, oh, I could use this, I could do that, I could do this, I could do that. By the time September comes, you're not going to remember none of that. and your way of applying it will be so fresh and brand new that you won't even have the confidence to really successfully do it properly. So, with that being said, I need to offer up these spirits. Give me one moment. All right. So, you know, everything needs to be, like what I teach is ritualizing the mind. So see how I just did that? How I spit that to the 4 directions? You know what I'm saying? That's ritualizing the mind. because I did not take one sip of that at all until I did what I had to do to offer it to the spirits, and which is the 4 elements. You see what I'm saying? And the 4 cardinal points. Did not do anything until I did that. I didn't even light my motherfucking incense, which I'm about to do now. And even when I do that, I offer that to my Godhead and to any gods or goddesses I'm working with that day, and my ancestors, everybody that came before, all power, all spirits with power, all demons with power, all of the imperishable stars, which are those who never fall, which are the stars in the north. You see what I'm saying? Offer all that to just the incense. So I'll do that too. Reda it's in the church in the church Kepper Joseph Khensu Keku Esekime Esetesh Anepu Erai Eshetau Esetech Eruai Efai Inebu Etai Echetai Esenetai Sheola Tiesha Amai Ebe Juratai Reka Kema Eriaba Juraimai Ebe Reka Kema Eriaba Jurinecheru Reka Kema Eriaba Juraku Reka Kema Eriaba Jurbeu Reka Kema Eriaba Auefu Ermejedu Enabin Khensu Keku Esepefer. All right. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, CJ, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That whole damn, you know what I'm saying, wearing white for a year, you can't do this, can't do that. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. Because, first of all, in every book you read, they specifically tell you that sexual energy is some of the strongest energy you can use. So the fact that you can't even tap that in for a year means that you are missing out on some of this. Everything down here is having sex, dude. Literally. And you don't even realize it. The fact that a tree comes out of the ground is because a seed was able to penetrate the soil. And then the roots began to penetrate that until it sprouted and was able to penetrate the soil again, not only from going downward, but also going upward, and then started to spread out in the air. You see what I'm saying? So everything down here is basically using masculine and feminine energy at the same time. So the fact that a person can't even use their masculine or feminine energy for a year is just a restriction and a limitation to your own knowing of your power. Whew. Sheola and Tiesha. Esheura. Etaiesha. Yup. That's that London dry gin and Canadian whiskey. And the funniest thing is, Bobby said this, and it's like I had this big ass realization after he said it, because I was hanging out recently with a friend of mine I hadn't seen in a long time. Got a lot of love for this girl, and she doesn't drink at all. Like, when I mean at all, like at all, which is pretty much how I was prior to doing this work. Like, I used to drink a lot, and then once I got into the work, I stopped drinking completely. And then, but once I got deeper into the work and understood why alcohol was called spirits, because that's how the actual ancients was tapping into speaking with spirits, was by drinking spirits. And that was created by, the Egyptians had beer and all that. Then once we got out of there, we learned the Moors, which were Coptic Egyptians, taught how to make alcohol, like liquor. And we would use that as well. So once I started to understand that, I started to work with those energies too. Now, the key on it is, Bobby was talking about how, like London Dry, like, because you're drinking straight alcohol. You're drinking literally, there's nothing, like, this is literally gin and whiskey. So just think about that. London Dry gin and Canadian whiskey is one drink, and you drink it. No chaser, no, just drink it. No mix it and just drinking. You know what I'm saying? And he said that after about 2 hours, it starts to become sweet once you mix them. But after about 24 hours, it becomes like completely really sweet. And he said that one thing, what he noticed was when you drink it the first time, after you drink it the first time straight, you can drink it straight every time after. So I told her that, and she was like, nah, I don't drink. So I was like, okay, I feel you. But it was just so funny because, like, as I was drinking it, she was just, like, dumbfounded how I was able to drink it and nothing about me changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when people get drunk, like, they start, like, stumbling and shit. It was like, you be having a conversation with them, they be just like, yeah, and I was there, and then my cousin was there. Like, nothing about me changed. And she was like, wow, that's, like, really crazy. And I was explaining, because what it is when the mind has been ritualized, when the mind has been empowered, and you're using what's known as the Godhead, and you look at everything that you do as a science experiment. Like, everything I do, I look at from an alchemical standpoint. Everything I do is an alchemical experience. So when you look at things like that, and that's the way you pretty much have your mind set up within your work. The way you have your mind set up within your work, what it is you literally aren't actually getting the effects of alcohol. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't look at this as alcohol. I look at it as the elixir. When you drink it, when I'm drinking it, it's not giving me the alcohol effects. It's giving me the effects of the elixir. And that's how you have the ability to tap into those powers. But you have to have that mindset. If a person does not have that mindset, that will not happen. See, so check it out. Those things like that, like, trust me. And I'm not talking, not to say anything bad about your friend or anything like that, but I would fuck her up. in spell casting and in the spirit realm, I would fuck her up, and Shango would have nothing. That would literally have nothing. She couldn't even help herself. Shango would not be able to help her whatsoever, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because Shango is only a form of other entities that predate Shango, which I work with. You see what I'm saying? So it's like when you're working with one energy versus a person who's working with like 30 versions of that same energy. And then not only just that person understands Legion. See, when you understand Legion work, you in a whole different ball game. And what a Legion is basically a Legion is an army of about 3,000 spirits. That's what a Legion is. What's up, Boss Hog? Boss Hog Farms in this bitch. Yo, young Billy, what up, Billy? What it is the when the Legion of Spirits, basically, they are distributed to do certain things. So let's say you're working with Amen. Just so the spirit Amen, Amon, or Amen, which is really how it's pronounced. It's a version of Amen Ra. that spirit has 66 legions, which means, a legion is 1,000 soldiers, I believe. 1,000 or more. Literally, that's what it actually means. So he has 66,000 spirits under his command. So literally, why I'm saying that you'd be able to fuck somebody up that goes through those type of priesthoods is because they're only dealing with that one spirit, whereas you're dealing with one spirit who has 66,000 spirits that listen to it. So I could literally send 30,000, 33,000 at her directly, and then 11,000 at her family, 11,000 at her friends, and 11,000 at her professional job or whatever career she has. And they would destroy, little by little, things would start to fall apart around her, as well as she would fall apart too. You see what I'm saying? So that's why, again, dealing with somebody who actually practices like chaos magic or practices ancient magic that they initiated themselves in versus somebody who was initiated, the person who initiated themselves will always win, because their mindset was not created by somebody else. Like, and I know this because, again, I know people who like my people are initiated. I don't know people that's initiated through Ogun, through Shango, through Yemiya. I know a lot of people that's initiated through these systems, and all of them, I have, like, literally every book that they have even read, I have it in my library for people who take my class. So that's one thing. So that means all the literature that they were provided through the system that they were initiated with, I already had the information. That's one thing. The second thing is, everything they have shown me always goes back to that entity. You know what I'm saying? Which is still going back to, like I said earlier, the European mindset of only being under one thing. Only being under one thing. Have you ever noticed that everybody else, that like all these other religions, like especially if you get into Hinduism, like for example, Shaivism, or I think that's how you say it, Shaivism, I think. I could be completely wrong. But Shaivism is the initiates of Shiva. Okay? The initiates of Shiva. Now, even though you are initiated under the Shiva under the Shiva deity, you are initiated through the Shiva Trinity. So you still have to work with Kali. You see what I'm saying? You still have to tap into the Kali Ma energy because that's Shiva's fucking wife. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you're not just working with this one thing. You have other other energies to balance that out. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, yeah, when you start to work with Shango, now you got to work with Oya too. If they had that, then it would be different, you know, because then now you have a balance going on. But when you don't have a balance, you're still working with one side of a polarity, you know. So, and I personally prefer the Palo spirits, Palo Mayambe, over Ifa. And even Santeria, mainly because with Santeria now and the Ifa systems, you have so many of the Europeans tapping into that energy that it's almost like, you know, it's going to become whitewashed very soon. So, but they ain't going to mess with Palo Mayambe. That's one thing they won't really tap into. They won't really tap into Palo Mayambe because that is ancestral. That's ancestral. My class is online on Skype. I do it through Skype, mainly because I do stay in LA and I do stay in Atlanta. So since I'm constantly back and forth between both places, and some people are out of the country, some people are out of the state. It's just best for me to just do it through Skype. So I do it mainly solely through Skype. I do have a couple people that live in LA that I teach, and I also have a person that lives in Atlanta I teach. So. And the good thing is, my library is online. So, since my library is online, people have access to to the information at their fingertips. So, and I think that's the most important thing is access to the information. Because there's things that, like I tell everybody in my class, and people that take my class, they witness this all the time. There is things that I know, that I use, that I practice, and because I know these things, I use them and I practice it. I might get a book and read it, and there may be things that I completely overlook because I'm already used to practicing it. Whereas they may not overlook certain things, see something, and have a completely different breakthrough. And they may mention their breakthrough to me, and then it shows me something new, teaches me something new. Because their mindset is approached with innocence, where my mindset sometimes in certain things is approached with a mindset of mastery. And what I mean by that is, since I can read ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, I know how to speak the language, I know the actual magical spells. I can look, when I look at a papyrus, I'm reading. You see what I'm saying? I'm looking at the artwork as far as like what the actual the picture displays, what the vignette displays, and then after that, I'm reading. Where a lot of people, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. But a lot of people, when they see the hieroglyphs, because they can't read the hieroglyphs, they're looking more at the picture. You see, so they may catch things that I wouldn't catch in the picture, and then when they show me the actual picture and I see it, then it's like, oh, okay, I get it. You see what I'm saying? Then I can actually see what they're talking about, because I don't understand what it means. They just get the picture. I understand what it means, and because I understand what it means, that can also limit me, because there may be things that if I did not understand, I would have a different view of it. Like, you ever listen to a song, and because you like didn't understand what the lyric meant as a child, but then when you get older, you listen to it, you're like, oh shit, that's what that meant. But then as a kid, it meant something completely different to you. That was even like, it was still profound. Like, but then when you learn it and grow up and you learn what it really means, like, damn, that had nothing to do with that, but that was even profound too. That's what I'm talking about. Where like it's mind blowing on both sides of the field. And that's why I feel that by everybody having access to the information, that's the case. And the beautiful thing about it is, like with my class, when you have access to that information, you have access forever. Because as long as you don't drop out my class, you know what I'm saying? Which is usually when people are making payment plans and then they just stop making payment plans but still think they're going to come to class. That's, to me, is a dropout. Because the fact I even allow payment plans for something that, like my class, for example, it's $144 for my cheapest class, right? My most cost-efficient class, right? But that class itself is 16 weeks. And then the class itself is about 4 hours once a week. So if you were to do the numbers on that, 144 divided by 16 and then divide that number by 4, it's about $3 an hour. So clearly I'm not doing this for money. You see? So the fact that a motherfucker would even, like myself, would even allow a payment plan, you know what I'm saying? And then give you access to everything as if you made a full payment, then I don't understand how you could stop, you know? So that's the only reason why I would ever take somebody's privileges away. But aside from that, you have access to that information. And here's the cool thing about it. Even when you pass my class, you still have access to those links. And not only that, guess what? Anytime I add a book, you get that book. So I could add something tomorrow, and you could have finished and literally graduated from my class last year, and you could still get that book. You know what I'm saying? Like, who's doing that for you? Think about that. Who's out here at that rate doing that? Not too many. Shit, not any. Either not any or not too many. Not any or not too many. That's all I gotta say on that. Not any or not too many. Because if they were, we wouldn't have cats that's, you know, talking about the moon is in goddamn the last full moon we had was in Libra. We wouldn't have anybody saying that. If we were doing what we were doing properly on a spiritual level, we wouldn't have that. Matter of fact, if we didn't even have that, if we had people that knew true magic and was on here talking that real deal shit, do you understand that Donald Trump wouldn't be around? These vaccines wouldn't be happening. These 4G or 5G, whatever the fuck y'all niggas talking about, these cell towers wouldn't be happening. All the shit that you niggas complain about all the time, police shooting us, niggas getting motherfucking white boys beating up black women, like all these different things that we complain about online would not be happening if we knew how to actually practice magic. But because most people don't know how to do it, but they want to act like they do, or if they do know how to do it, they know the like, I always call it, and I get in trouble for saying these things on live, like they always like fucking have somebody write a comment or report it, but I'm still gonna say it. Fuck them. They just have they all practice like the gayest like magic of all time, or like the most bitchiest like magic that you could possibly practice. It would be like prosperity spells, spells for love, spells for hey kitty kitty, spells for like you know, empowering nature. Like, oh, it's like the most gayest shit in the world. And the only reason I'm saying that is because none of that shit has anything to do with spiritual transmutation. None of it has to do with shadow work or spiritual transmutation, which is alchemy, which is illumination through putrefaction. And Bobby Hemmett may have coined that term, but that term comes from the practice of ancient Kemet, of the practice of A'u Kemai. A'u Kemai. The Orishas are basically a collective of 7 spirits, or sometimes 11 spirits. But the Orishas are a collection of spirits. So what that is you had these priesthoods or maybe even just magical factions. You had these magical factions or these priesthoods that existed and there may have been a face or a figurehead known as Shango, or a face or a figurehead known as Oya or Yeminya, or Olakun, Olarun, Oshun. You know what I'm saying? you may have this figurehead of those entities, and basically when they died, they were deified, and out of their deification, that spirit lived. And that's how that works. So basically, all spirits live in what's known as your neuromelanin or your synaptic nerves, and through what's known as synaptic plasticity, which is the process of basically using memory of something you did not experience. So how that works is, like, let's say your grandma loved chocolate chip cookies, and you have an ancestor altar dedicated to your grandma, and every day you give her chocolate chip cookies. Literally every single day you give her chocolate chip cookies as if she's still alive. What would happen is, if you started to work with her name and her energy and her memories, you would start to understand things about her that you wouldn't even have known, that she technically didn't tell you. So you'd be able to understand, like, why she liked chocolate chip cookies. And the way you'd be able to do it is because her mitochondrial DNA lives in your mitochondrial DNA. So everything she experienced is technically already there. And through the synaptic plasticity of using your association with her living, or with her, whatever you're doing, whether it's the cookies, whether it's the altar, whatever the case is, through your association with her, it literally, her memories start to turn on in your mind. So that's how I was able to learn ancient Egyptian. Like, people really think like I went to a teacher or something. Like, no, I actually literally got all the books that had the dictionary and explanations of how it was written and spoke and things of that nature. Then I got all the books of the actual spells themselves. And then I just compared what this book was saying to what that book was saying, and practiced them until I actually figured out how it worked. And by working with the deities like Jehudi, like Amen Ra, like Set, like Osiris, like Horus, working with these entities like Seshat, Ma'at, all these different entities. What happened was Anubis, all the things, Sekhmet, all this stuff that, these people that lived during that time, which my ancestors were, it just turned on. So literally everything that they knew how to do, I just technically was using them. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's one thing that I teach in class. That's actually literally my very first lecture in our class, is how your mind works. I explain how memory works, how the brain works, and how all this stuff within your brain is literally just a hologram that is projecting whatever you choose to perceive it to be. Which is very, 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 very powerful and very key, just because that means that literally your entire life is a memory. Think about that mindset for a second. The mindset to have the understanding that your entire life itself is merely a memory. Nothing's happening now. Everything's already happened. You know what I'm saying? So, and anybody that wants to test me on that, they can test me They can try, they can say whatever they want. But all I'm going to say is this. What's your name? That's all I'm going to say. As soon as somebody tries to debate with me that life is not a memory, or what I'm saying isn't factual, I'm just going to ask them a simple question. What's your name? What is your name? And as soon as they can tell me their name, that proves my theory. Because who the fuck told you that was your name? Somebody that named you, right? And then how do you remember that? Oh, I'm sorry. Remember? That's part of memory. The fact that you even know your name, the fact that you even know how to speak, know how to walk, know how to talk, know how to fart, know how to do anything is all comes from memory. Everything that I just said is literally a function that was derived through memory. You did not know your name until you had the memory to know it. You did not know how to walk until you remembered how to walk. You did not know how to talk until you remembered how to formulate your mouth and your tongue and the actual vocal cords to say certain things at certain times in certain ways with certain inflections through memory. So nothing is happening here. Everything has already happened. It's just that since the body goes through what's known as time, you live what's known as day and night, hour, minute, second, etc. But in reality, the mind and the soul don't exist in the body, so therefore they are not limited to time. So literally everything that you're experiencing is already a memory to them. It's like it's already old shit to them. Like, oh, you ain't doing nothing new. So until you break down that pattern and change those patterns, which is what I'm doing with this work here, as you can see. For those that understand the tree of life in Kabbalah, then you understand what I'm doing is extremely powerful. Because this is your daytime tree, which is what 95% of people use. Even the most powerful in the Illuminati use just this. And then down here, as you can see, which is upside down, is the nighttime tree, which is what you use tonight. So technically, whatever I do on this side will actually come forth tomorrow. So this is literally a way to predict your life. Not to really predict it, control it, because you would make your changes here, whatever you want to do here, and then make that mirror up here. You know what I'm saying? So just by doing these things, and then you got the spirits over here. I got all my spirits' names. And I got the planetary signs and what zodiacs they're in. You see what I'm saying? So all of these different things is literally ways of chaos magic, because I can use, and I only showed you that. I haven't even showed you the spells. You know what I'm saying? We still have spell work here. We still got spell work. Au chesina ea impet arete ein rada haruin seminet cheset, which that means a knot was tied for me. A knot was tied behind me in the sky for my eye by Ra. Sorry, in the sky of the eye of the earth by Ra, and was given to me on the day of tying the knot. You know what I'm saying? So, atim daek ina chau nejima emai sharetek, which literally says, hail Adam, or Atim. Atim is the sun when it sets in the west, but Atim is also your atoms, Atom, which was Adam in the Bible. So Atim, Daek ina chau najim ai mai shretek, which means give. I want you to give me, or really, you have given to me the sweet breath or the divine breath, the sweetness of the breath, which is in your nostrils. So sharet, the word sharet means nostrils. The letter K, see how like S, capital S, RT dot K. The letter K literally is the word you or your. So atim daek ina chau nejim mai sharetek. And this is just really, and all this is actual ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs written in the letters that they use. That's all I did. So instead of actually writing hieroglyphs and like using the pictures, I just transliterated it. So a transliteration is basically taking something that's a symbol or a sound, a symbol or a pictogram, and then using the sound that the pictogram makes, and then writing it in like Latin, the alphabet. So atim daek ina chau nejim mai sharetek. Aine kesekin neset tuai eret ab uenu. Au asau ina suet tuai enet negek erud et es unkes sesin chau sesin des chau. And basically what that said is aside from, give me the breath that's in the divine or the sweet breath that's in your nostrils, says I'm the one who guards against what lives within your heart, or the baby that within the womb of your heart. I'm the one who guards against the egg, which dwelled from the great cackler, which is nek ek u'er, which is where the word nigger comes from. Actually, nigger is actually an ancient Egyptian word which meant the cosmic goose that laid the cosmic egg. Arud Aruda and Arudes means it flourishes and I flourish. I live and it lives. I breathe the divine air and then it breathes the divine air. That's literally what that spell said. So just by being able to know what the language is saying, and your body knows what the language is saying, but the conscious mind does not, it doesn't have the ability to play or hate on anything I just said. So I only got 2 minutes left. CJ, if you want to talk more and get into classes and talk about schedule, rates, things of that nature. If you need a payment plan, if you want to just pay it all the way out, however you want to do it, schedule things out, things of that nature, talk more in detail, you could definitely DM me, or I could DM you, however you want to do it. But I only have 1.5 minutes left, so I'm probably just going to cut this short anyway, because it's just me and you for now. I'm going to keep this live up for the next 24 hours. I'm also going to save it, and it will be on my YouTube channel, and which will eventually be on my website. So aside from that, I just want to send everybody love that came through. Boss Hog Farms, Big Boy, who else came through? Big Boy JG, of course CJ, Javi, God Body came through, Josiah came through, everybody that came through. I want to just send y'all some love. And if you didn't come through, but you're going to watch it live later, send you some love. For everybody that will be on the YouTube channel, send y'all some love. And yeah, that's about it. I ain't got much else to say. Khensu Keku. I'm out of this piece. All right, so stay blessed. Stay on your goddamn magic. Hold on. Okay, yeah. So hit me up. Yeah, DM me, brother. DM me. All right, then. So it's been a pleasure, y'all. I'll catch y'all soon. Just be up for 24 hours. Be up on my YouTube, all that good shit. And I'm out. You feel me?